Time to walk and time to play. Time to eat and time to sleep. No time for negativity.
This is Zalika.
And this is Naima. And together we are Mastering Menopause. Welcome back to our channel.
Welcome all my Menolites.
Yes, welcome Menolites out there. And this week, the thing that we really want to talk about is menopause mindset. And Naima and I have been discussing together the fact that whatever somebody decides about something is the way it's going to be for them. So with menopause, it's no different, and the mindset that we have, so what we tell ourselves about it is really going to determine what our experience is and what our expectations are as well. So we'll kind of explain a little bit more about that.
Well, like you said, the mindset that you're in is important. But only you alone know your mindset.
Yeah. And
for me personally, my mindset is you're going through your perimenopause.
You are perimenopausal. Yeah.
And my mindset is crack on. Get on with it. Basically.
Yeah. And what was the thing that you said influenced you coming up with that perspective, the crack on mindset?
Well, my thing is crack on because I've said this before, I'm sure. I don't know if you all heard, but for me personally, I live in a house full of boys. So who am I discussing it with? When I do discuss, they just see me as miserable. Oh, mum's miserable today. Oh, she's in a mood today. Keep out of her way today. But I can't discuss that with them. So for me, I just crack on. I still have to be mum. I still have to get on and do the job, go to work, do everything else. They don't understand my view.
Yeah, so the little sympathy in a male-dominated household, that's it. Or no sympathy.
A tiny bit when they're hungry.
Yeah.
And I'm not moving quick enough.
I mean, I like the crack on kind of mindset. I get that. And I agree because, I mean, life goes on. It doesn't stop. Women throughout the ages have gone through this and we've survived as a species, you know, of women. But equally, my mindset is slightly different in that, yes, I acknowledge the need to crack on. But I also think that there are so many advances in technology, in medicine. We're learning. We've learned. We understand so much more than we did in years gone by. And I just think as women that we can expect to benefit from a lot of the research and the knowledge that's out there in terms of having a better quality of life. I've got this expectation that my mum's, and I know my mum suffered a lot through her menopause. My grandmother and my great-grandmother, I don't know because it wasn't discussed at all. My mum did talk about it a little bit, but
they survived. I don't really know.
Yeah, but they survived, they went through it. But in saying that they survived...
And they're strong models.
Well, we can say they survived and they're strong models, but my argument would be they suffered in silence for a significant amount of time. And even if you go back to...
I'm probably suffering now, but I'm not in silence.
Yeah. Well,
because everybody knows.
Well, that's a difference. So we talk about it, they didn't. But at the same time, I strongly believe that, you know, particularly perimenopausal symptoms impact on our relationships, right? And there's evidence to suggest that at that particular stage in life, there are a lot of relationship breakdowns. Like people, you know, end up separating and divorcing because of miscommunication. They don't understand what's going on. Like a woman doesn't understand what's going on in her own mind, in her own body. Spouse doesn't understand. Children don't understand. So it's negatively impacting relationships. So even like, you know, our grandparents, great-grandparents, they went through stuff, you know, maybe they could have had better relationships with their sons, daughters, cousins, aunties. Do you know what I mean? There might have been, you know, things that could have been avoided if they had some of the support and some of the, you know, therapies even that are available to us now. So I've got a mindset that I want to maximise my experience of life at this stage of life, that I'm not going to suffer needlessly. I'm not going to suffer in silence. Not that I'm going to be vocal and leery and shout out, you know, the loudspeaker that I'm menopausal, you know, have pity on me. I'm not going to that extreme, but you know, if I'm going through something, I need time out, I'm going to say, I need time out, I need space, and I'm not going to feel, you know, less than for feeling that way or having to say that. And I'm also going to look at what my options are.
It's not less than, and it's not, do look at your options, but in everyday life, everyday work, shopping, who cares?
Yeah, well, I mean, people out there, they don't, but I'm looking at self-care, eye care, and I've made a decision, like my mindset is, I've made a decision, I'm going to go through the menopause and perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause, I'm going to go through these stages in the best possible way I can. So I'm going to make sure that I can access everything that is available within my reach to support me through this, so that I can have the best possible quality of life.
No, I agree with that. Like, do access what you can.
Yeah.
As much as possible.
Yeah.
And like you said, in theory, when I say crack on, it's just like you just have to go through it.
Yeah.
You just have to take every day as it comes. You can't say, oh, I'm not doing this today, I'm menopausal, because it doesn't work like that. So for me, when I say crack on, it's just take every day as it comes. If you feel like today I'm not coping, I can't cope, I need to talk to someone, talk to someone. I need to go see the doctor, go to the doctor, you know. But in theory, it's just cracking on, make sure it's still got to tick over, everything's still got to tick over. And life still goes on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even in saying, you know, like old time people, like in the olden days, women kind of got on with it. They did get on with it, but like I was saying, I recognise that there are a lot of those women that would have just been suffering in silence, going through things like cracking on, getting on with it, but at the expense of their own health. And I mean, they did the best they could. They got through it the way that they knew.
For a lot of them, and the mummies and the grandmas and the great grandmas out there can understand. Some of them, that's what they had to do.
Yeah.
And it never done them any harm.
You know, we can say it never did them any harm, but there were impacts on their health that's avoidable now. Okay, here.
No, it's avoidable now.
Yeah.
So
it's avoidable now.
So now we know a lot more than they did.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. Like, us bringing light to the subject is seeking to empower women to say, okay, women in times gone by, they didn't have the resources, there wasn't the understanding of, you know, the health implications and all of that. So we've come into like an enlightened sort of generation in that respect.
Entitled.
Well, I don't know about entitled, but enlightened. You know, it's like we're kind of understanding, you know, what some of our options are. But, you know, just access it, make the most of it, make use of it, so that we can have the best possible outcomes. So, like, even like HRT, it's not something I've really looked at. I'm not on HRT. I haven't asked my GP about it. I have considered it at times. But, you know, like even the HRT, women who have been on HRT have reported that they've got their life back. Do you know? And just think, you know, the experience that, you know, some women, you know, have the opportunity to have just by considering this hormone replacement therapy. Again, I think put links in the previous video. I'll also put links again in this video just to Dr. Louise Newson, who is a real advocate. She's a general practitioner, but she's a real advocate for women and HRT and going through menopause, and it's just really helpful resource. But it's an option. I'm not advocating HRT because I'm not taking it personally, but I would just say find out what is available, what is out there. But, you know, just going back to, you know, how we started off, just make a decision about your mindset, like how you're going to see yourself going through this. So, you know, Naima's crack on, and that is going to define her experience. So yes, it means that you will have particular challenges. They won't all go away because you have that mindset, but it's gonna cause you to go through in a position of strength. In my opinion, I think it's a healthy mindset for you to have. Like, I've gone kind of back and forth, but I, you know, agree. My mindset is that I'm gonna have the best possible experience of life from here. So that's going to influence.
Is there a best way to experience menopause?
Is there a best? I think the way that you've decided to. I mean, if you have got all the information available to you and then you've accessed, you've tried. So if you decide, for example...
But it's still the same menopause.
Yeah, it's the same menopause. It's going to be a different experience. Say for example, somebody's researched HRT and they say, yeah, that's for me. And then they go on hormone replacement therapy and all of their symptoms disappear.
But I know what you're saying, and HRT, but it don't work for everybody.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
So,
but it does work for many people.
Yeah, it does work for many, but not
for all.
Not
for everybody. So then
I'd say 50-50.
Well, not going to say statistically because I really don't know, but I know it's a very small percentage of women in the UK in particular that are even accessing it. But, the reality of it is there are people who have experienced significant benefits. There are groups of women who it's advised against, especially if they've had particular types of cancer diagnosis previously. So there are research, do your research.
You have to do what's best for you.
Yeah, do what's best for you. But I think that, as long as you are aware of what the options are, what the information is, then you can make an informed choice. And then that's going to determine your own experience, how you pass through it.
Yeah. But again, it's like whatever mindset you're in, that's for you. You decide how you get on with it, how you go about it, and basically, deters your everyday life, I suppose.
Yeah, it really will.
So,
even in saying crack on, there's one woman I heard who had periods were so heavy that the bleeding was ridiculous. She couldn't go to work because she'd just be she couldn't physically go. And I'm like, wow, that's serious. So in that situation, she could have gone into work if she decided to wear a nappy, maybe. Do you know what I mean? That could have been her crack on, and she might have decided to.
I've got to go work. I need my money, girl. I need my money, so I'm going to work. I'm going to wear a nappy, but I'm going to work.
But I'm not. She didn't say that she did that. But. Do you know what I mean? It's your mindset is really going to determine. For me, I'll have...
No, but it's not just menopause. It's even just every day.
Yeah, it's life.
Even if it's just every day. Oh, I don't need to... Cold, flu...
Yeah.
Crack on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When men have a cold, it's they're dying. Man flu.
Well, Neymar, there's actually something I've discovered about that. And with the menopause, what we didn't say before was that periods stop, and during the perimenopause there's a decline in the level of estrogen in our body, and estrogen is linked to so many other things, and it's actually affects our immunity. So women have got a stronger immunity because of our estrogen levels. So there is actually evidence to suggest that when men get colds and flus, it does actually affect them more than it does us.
No.
If there's research out, I promise you.
No.
Go and look.
She gonna show me.
Go and look. Okay.
She gonna show me, but we don't have.
Okay, she set down the gauntlet. I'm going to do the research, and I'm going to come up with the evidence that's out there to suggest that men actually have more of a challenging experience when it comes to that, because their estrogen levels are significantly lower than women's for obvious reasons. There you go.
What's the obvious reason?
Because we are women and they're men, so we need the estrogen for different things. But I think that's, unless there's anything you want to add, we'll bring it to a kind of natural close there, I think.
No, natural close. I'd just like everyone out there, all my Menolites, to share, comment and
subscribe to our channel if you like our content.
If you like the content. And we will see you next time.
See you in our next episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.